Alright, have a good one. Oh, hello everyone. I'm Ken Jackson, and I am proud to be running alongside Brad Meader as your vice presidential candidate from the Free Liberty Party in the 2008 presidential election. I'd like to start by letting you all know a little about me and where I come from. Currently, I am proud to be serving my 6th term in Washington as a representative from the great state of Mississippi. During my time in the House of Representatives, I fought hard for lowering the tax burden for America's middle class, as well as endeavoring to institute school voucher programs. As a result, my constituents have voted me back to Washington to carry on with the good job that they and I feel I am doing. Prior to serving in the House, I owned a large casino in Biloxi, and I worked on countless land development projects. I, very much like Senator Meader, consider myself to be a family man. My wife and I have been happily married for many years now, and we live with the 4 of our 6 children who have not yet graduated from high school. The other 2 are currently attending Louisiana State University. Since the 2 of us have our own families, we know what the average family goes through, and we will fight hard in Washington to promote the welfare of the average American families. When Brad asked me to join him in this race for the presidency, it came as a pleasant surprise. I never actually met him when he made this decision, but we were introduced later that day. He convinced me to change my mind on a few issues, such as the idea of drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Reserve, the current state of the United Nations, and the concept of helping the Saudi Arabian government. Since then, we have become very close friends and came up with some great ideas to lead this country to a bright and better future. They include helping the middle class survive by giving tax breaks to those in situations such as putting a kid through college. Brad and I know what it is like, as we are both trying to pay for the tuition of 2 children each. He will be done paying for college after his daughter's graduation. However, I've got 4 more on the way. Lucky me. Additionally, the Free Liberties Party ticket will expand the EPA and fight to stop climate change and remedy the problem known as global warming. Our opponents, the New America Party, are not convinced that global warming is our fault, and if they are elected, they will let the environment continue to deteriorate. Senator Meader and I will not stand for this, and if I am elected, we will do our part and invite you all to help us in preserving our environment. An early step on this road to a greener future will be the implementation of standard fuel efficiency ratings on all automobiles. By doing so, Americans will use less gasoline and therefore put less pollution in the air, thus aiding our endeavor to save the environment. This is a crucial time in our nation's history, and we need an experienced leader such as Brad Meader who cares for the environment. Let me say it the way Brad once told me. If the environment dies, we all die with it, and we will have nobody to blame but ourselves. Brad also told me that if he were to accomplish one thing during his term in office, it would be to put America on the road to a greener tomorrow. We also believe that the current American social security system is perfectly fine, and that the privatization of it would be detrimental to our country and those who rely on Social Security. Our opponents believe that the privatization of this program is the way to go. But how can a private organization really fund something this big, especially with all of the baby boomers set to receive Social Security within the next 2 decades? We need to keep Social Security as a government-funded program for that very reason. We can keep it alive if we focus and make intentions to do so. Brad and I will also fight for the abolition of the unconstitutional death penalty, or capital punishment. Not only have innocent people been killed in the past, but it is cruel and unusual punishment, which goes against our Constitution. Millions of dollars have been spent on finding better ways to kill people. The Free Liberty Party understands that those who normally deserve the death penalty have committed atrocities, but we do not believe in killing them back, as Brad puts it. Brad Meader will build very high security prisons around the country designed strictly for the purpose of housing these people who commit such crimes for what is left of their lives. This will not only save our country loads of money in the long run, but it will also help keep our moral values intact as well. While it is not particularly high on our presidential to-do list, we plan on getting rid of capital punishment before the end of Brad's first term in office. Brad and I have some major concerns on the topic of gun control in the United States, but we share major beliefs on it. We, for the most, believe in allowing the Second Amendment to our Constitution to stay in effect, but we believe that American citizens should not be allowed to carry concealed weapons on their bodies. We understand that guns are very commonly used for protection and recreation, but those should be only in cases which they are used. Guns must be very closely monitored as they are very destructive, and their use must be limited to when it is absolutely necessary. Guns should be registered with the government and must be kept out of the lives of young Americans. We will work hard to minimize the threat of guns in this country. While it isn't impossible to completely eliminate this threat from our society, Brad and I will do everything in our power to ensure a safe country and eliminate the looming threat of these destroyers of life. Listen, this is America, and we need a president who can lead us into success and lead us into whatever we need to be led into, whatever that may be. The Free Liberty Party, Senator Brad Meader and I, will do our part to make this country better and improve the lives of every citizen of this great country. We can tell you that we will do all of these things, but it won't really matter what we tell you unless one very important thing happens first. In order for Brad Meader to do all of these things he promises to do, you, the voters, must elect him to office of the president. I'm asking you now, vote for the right candidate on Friday, October 31st, 2008. Vote Free Liberty. Remember, if you want a leader, vote for Meader. You stay classy, America.